This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update. In some somewhat surprising news, but not really that surprising, R-Truth has been released by WWE. It's surprising because just a week ago, he headlined Saturday Night Main Event against John Cena. Which I don't know if that was a favor to R-Truth or Cena, but he hadn't been used prominently for a long time. They still pulled off a good rating, 0.54, one of the best ratings in recent history for WWE, and certainly better than anything AEW could touch since their debut. But R-Truth has been off and on with the company since 1999, again, 54 years old. He had a great run. I always heard he was one of Vince McMahon's favorite wrestlers. Paul Orndorff III has apparently been arrested, according to his brother, Travis Orndorff, who runs Paul Orndorff's Legacy channel, apparently on May 29th. Paul Orndorff III was taken into custody by the Peachtree City Police Department. Apparently, he had substance abuse problems for a long time, refused to seek treatment. Again, treatment can be expensive. I mean, unless you're WWE alumni where you can get free treatment, which is why I have no sympathy for people like Justin Credible who could have free rehab. For a normal person, you're talking $10,000 to $20,000 a month, and then you're not working during that time. So I do sympathize with Paul Orndorff III, which I apparently he's got a bit of a history of arrests. His brother wasn't exactly specific for what the quote unquote reckless actions were, other than that there was a chase, and apparently he's in custody now. In other news, Vikingo won the AAA Mega Championship from Alberto Del Rio last night. I did watch the finish. They had a hot crowd for it. Alberto Del Rio doesn't seem to be in his top shape ever, but he's not in horrible shape. Of course, he has signed with WWE. They haven't absorbed all the contracts from AAA. I know, according to Meltzer, they've also signed Vikingo. I don't know exactly how they're going to work it. I'm sure they're going to sign all the top Mexican stars they can. I don't know how they're going to fill out the cards, if they're going to use independent contractors to fill out the cards or what, or if they will sign everyone they end up using. But the interesting thing about that victory was WWE announced that it was going to be Vikingo against the El Luchador Americano, whatever his name is. I forget his full name, but they announced that was going to be a mega title match at the upcoming June When Worlds Collide Premium Live event. So they just didn't care about leaking out who was going to win, and it actually brought more attention onto the match because, for instance, I wouldn't have even looked at it if I didn't want to see if Vikingo was still going to win or not. Apparently, WWE's Unreal behind the scenes creative show, it's called Unreal, and it's going to be about how they do the creative. It's going to debut on Netflix this summer. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the company. I don't know if letting more of the inside out, even though it might be more interesting, if that's just going to make people even less interested than the product or not. I agree with you, HJ. I've known some people that have had similar problems, and it truly is a disease. And I definitely sympathize with them, and I can understand if you don't actually have money for rehab and you're just stuck in that cycle of addiction. It's not as easy as people might think, to just kick the habit. Yeah, they finally released him. They haven't been doing much with him. He sure as hell made a lot of money. There you go. Son of Viking. I don't know much about Mexican wrestling. I've never been a fan of it. Hello to Mop Shop. Ivan Santos shoot interview with wrestling children are interesting. Yeah, I've done a few. I'd be open to interviewing that guy for sure. My next interviews are going to be with Dave Drayson, the Sheik's last manager, going over the dark side of the ring episode on the Sheik, and Ivelisse, both coming up on Thursday. Malik Long, can't believe they released R-Truth. Well, at some point, they're actually a very shrewd business people, WWE, as much as they want to call themselves a family. And they haven't been doing much with him. He's been making a lot of money. They gave him basically a favor to go out on, and I'm sure John Cena was part of that favor, because I'm sure John Cena versus R-Truth wasn't on anyone's list of retirement matches they want to see of Cena's, and I'm sure neither is this upcoming Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. It's a real lame main event that Meltzer said that's what you put on the SmackDown before the pay-per-view. Then you have the title matches on the pay-per-view. It's like, who wants to see that? Martha Hart doesn't really give any interviews unless you probably pay her a lot of money, like they did with Dark Side of the Ring, and I'm sure she gets a lot of money from Tony Khan for the Owen Hart Cup, even though they did not use her this year, and they didn't even have the Owen Hart Cup match in Calgary, which shows me they probably lost a lot of money on the Calgary show. Exactly. They might use him in AEW. To be perfectly honest with you, the way that AEW picks up WWE's scraps, I mean, I could see them using them. And again, I'm not a fan of his, but I do respect him. HJ Sabu is dead. He passed away. Had his final match, even though Sabu, I think, was in his early 60s. He looked like an 80-year-old in his final match that supposedly, they say he only took kratom to get up for it, but I mean, if he couldn't walk earlier that morning, he would have needed a lot more than kratom. Kratom I do take here and there. It's somewhat of a pain reliever, but it's not going to take you from not being able to walk to be able to perform in a match. Anyways, that's the news of the